What's up, my friends? I am Griff Nilsson, and this is
Christina Johnson
with Counterculture Coaching, and today we've got a very serious question for you. You ready for this? What the hell? Now, really, that's what we're going to be talking about because behavioral scientists have coined a term called the what the hell effect. Now, if you're kind of laughing and thinking this is not serious, actually Google it. It is legit. It's called the what the hell effect. And basically it talks about and calls out us perfectionists. If I've set a goal of no treats for the week and I have one Oreo cookie, and in that perfectionistic nature I say, what the hell, and I have 10 more Oreo cookies, this is a self-sabotaging mechanism that pretty much destroys my health and my wellness over time. And you can see this within yourself. I guarantee you can see it with family and friends. This what the hell effect is really what derails long-term lifestyle-based wellness. And that is what we're going to talk about today, is give you a 5-step system that you can use to thwart and avoid this what the hell effect and learn the valuable lessons that these, quote, screw-ups are trying to give us in the first place.
So at Counterculture Coaching, in our Fab Formation system, we have a 4 power pillar system to help guarantee success in your health and fitness journey. So today we are going to talk about pillar number 1, which is health and fitness as a spiritual practice, and pillar number 4, which is making health and fitness a priority and taking disciplined action. This is a very unique combination because there is a very definite spiritual component blended with a left brain logical nature of priority and disciplined action. So this combination gets us from being that pressed and stressed professional to the consistently fit professional.
And with that, like that pressed and stressed professional, let's take the stress part of that, okay? So stressed out, we professionals, it's easy to get up to our eyeballs in stress, is it not? You see it with your clients like every day. And when we get into this state of being highly stressed, highly pressed, it's really easy to make, let's just do a quiz. Is it easy to make really good decisions or bad decisions?
Bad.
Most likely bad decisions, especially when it comes to your health and wellness. So let's say, for example, your stress is super high and you've made a goal to eat healthy and to get to the gym 3 times a week. Well, if your plate is so full with stress and you're so pressed out, chances are good you're already feeling really miserable. So the first thing that's going to go is like, I had that first Oreo cookie, screw it, because you don't want that added pressure. You've already got too much on your plate as it is. Now that plate is literally going into your mouth. And that's what we don't want. Now here's the interesting thing. We also talk about our 4 power pillars. Our second power pillar, which we're not talking about today, but just to throw this one in, is about focusing on less so you can achieve more. What if you actually did less in your career? You focused on the most important things and you said no to things that weren't as important. And because you'd cleared your plate off proverbially, you therefore didn't clear it off literally with the cookies because you don't have that pressure, you don't have that stress, which I thought was interesting, how it plays into that overall psychology.
So this all or nothing thinking leads to 20 Oreos instead of the original 2, or 3 months worth of exercise being missed than that one day because you woke up and you weren't motivated.
Oops.
The results are usually disastrous and long-standing when they need not be.
Yeah, and usually is almost all the time disastrous. And let's just be honest, if we are going to transform from this pressed and stressed professional and morph into the consistently fit professional, this what the hell effect, it can have no place in your life. It's got to go. 100%, it's got to go. Do you agree?
I agree. Which is why we have these 5 steps that we want you to implement today. So the first step is that you need to elevate your awareness when life throws you curveballs or when your motivation begins to wane. So this step is so easy. All you have to do is look at your initial response and decide how you're feeling. The benefit to this is that you get to be the bystander in your life and become very present to what's happening in the current moment. Step number 2 is noticing what your knee-jerk response is. Do you just throw in the towel and say, screw it? The benefit to that is figuring this out, you will be able to see what your coping mechanisms are so that you can change them for the better.
And knowing that, this leads us into step number 3, and that is, because all this is a strategy, really. When you throw in the towel and you have a knee-jerk reaction of all or nothing thinking, the what the hell effect, that's a strategy. Now, step number 3 asks the question, is it a good strategy? You're putting that strategy on trial. You literally become the lawyer. You are your own attorney and you are scrutinizing very heavily. Did those old patterns work? When you say, screw it, I'm gonna not exercise, or I'm gonna have the 10 Oreo cookies, or you just give up altogether, does that get you towards your health and wellness goals? Now, this is very obvious, the benefit being that you can see how flawed that logic really is. Step number 4 on the tails of that is, what lesson did you learn from your quote, your mess up? Because we're all gonna mess up, we're human beings, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But what did you learn? As a corporate executive or an entrepreneur, what do you learn when you don't meet quarterlies? What do you learn if you're not having your team lead accomplish their goals and objectives? There's always a valuable lesson. So when it comes to health and wellness, why don't we do the same thing? When we mess up, what patterns led up to that? What behaviors, what emotions led up to the screw-ups, right? Remember, screw-ups. If you can see those patterns, if you can extricate those and say, well, I wasn't prepared with my food, so therefore I went and I had to get fast food. I was talking to a person that is very toxic to me, which put me into a bad emotional state. So therefore I said, screw it. Or, like we were saying earlier, I put too much on my plate, so therefore I literally put too much on my plate and it went into my mouth, right? We don't want that. So once we learn the lesson, the benefit is now you're not doomed to repeat that. You don't have to look into history and go, oh, that's my destiny. Now you can just start to forge your own destiny and go forward, which is really cool because now this is probably my favorite, probably your favorite as well. Step number 5, and that is, it's a little woo-woo, if you will, but that's all right because we're all about that. It is using your intuition, your gut level, and coming up with a new strategy. Now let me break this down. What I want you to do is I want you to put the cell phone away, get yourself out of your office, get yourself away from society if possible, get outside, and what I want you to do is get silent. Clear your mind out, do a little meditation if you want beforehand, which really does help. And then you're just gonna ponder, what can I do instead of going to this knee-jerk what the hell effect? What kind of strategy can I employ? Maybe it's hiring a therapist when you need it. Maybe it's you have an accountability partner where when you enter into this what the hell mechanism, you call them up and say, hey, I'm thinking this again. I'm thinking this what the hell way of thinking. They'll know what that is if you tell them. And from there, they can talk you out of it. I don't care what the strategy is. The point is you want to get silent so you can download it. Once you've got that downloaded, now you can avoid what we call the deadly doldrums. Here's what that means. Once I have that first Oreo cookie, there's a space. I can have the next 10, or I can say, I'm going to employ that strategy and I'm going to put it in right there. It's like you're interjecting it right there and it saves you. You no longer are subject to the horrors of the what the hell effect.
Depressed and stressed professionals understand this concept intellectually, but we have the hardest time actually implementing it. Yeah, because it just goes against what we've been conditioned and ingrained to do, right? We would like to invite you to get rid of the guilt and shame that comes from not being perfect and start viewing your life as a journey with many ups and downs. I promise you that if you follow this 5-step system, then you will literally change your life for the better. Comment below and tell us how these 5 steps have transformed your life, and then make sure to click like and subscribe so you can get more of our life-changing videos.
All right, my friends, thanks again for being here with us. We appreciate you. We're excited to hear how this journey goes for you. Remember to never excuse away your inner greatness, and always remember, life is good.
See you guys.